Joining me now, HLN legal analyst and criminal defense attorney Joey Jackson, criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi as well. You're both also former prosecutors. Yeah. And Bob, you spent a number of years working with law enforcement, at one point supervising, overseeing nearly 4 dozen agencies in New Jersey. So I just want to get your take on this, because you've sort of, you're not a former cop, but you've had your foot in both worlds here. Just on the basis of everything we saw and everything we heard from Christie, what's your gut on this story?
It's horrible. And I actually went through the firearms training course as a head prosecutor, the use of force continuum, and we are continually seeing incidents in which shots are being fired into moving vehicles, which is problematic. And more importantly, Erica, just because the law, as a prosecutor, I'm looking at this, may give you the discretion to do it if you're in fear of imminent bodily injury or death or protecting another person, doesn't mean you should do it. Too many people are dying where less than lethal force could have been used and saved their lives.
There's also, when we look at this video, too, I mean, this appears to be a residential neighborhood. We see this home. We see another one as well. And the guy's pulled over for crossing a line. Now, look, Brent Flood, we just heard him say, look, the lesson learned for me is when they tell you to get out of the car, you get out of the car. Right. I get it. That said, to fire all these shots, I mean, do you envision charges coming here, Joey?
It's appalling, and they probably should come. Bob, I think you hit it right on, because you're given the discretion to do something doesn't make it right. There's to that use of force continuum, as you mentioned, we're former prosecutors, you do ride-alongs with the police, right? But you don't carry a gun. They tell you, stay in the car, right? Have your vest on, leave the good work to us, we got this. You don't. And so why this person who has the fifth of the training has a firearm and is blasting away 8 times is beyond me. Furthermore, if you look at the use of force continuum, should we not at least try to use non-deadly force before we shoot at somebody 8 times, hitting them 3? It just doesn't make any sense. Where's the imminence of the threat? And the force you use needs to be proportionate to that. A car's a deadly weapon, I get it. Is the car running towards you? Is it attempted to run you over? Or are you on the side of the car? It's just appalling, and it just feeds the narrative of the divide oftentimes between the community and the police.
And that is a serious issue, as we know. I mean, look, we're covering extensively the story of Stephon Clark out of Sacramento. That's the latest one, right? To lead to this divide and to lead to this national outrage and this question about use of force. When we look at this, though, so Brandon Flood, as I mentioned, we heard a little bit from him there. He spoke to the local affiliate saying, look, I did learn my lesson. He was still shot. Does he have any recourse here?
Yeah, he's going to have, well, first of all, he's going to have civil recourse. He may have recourse as a victim of a potential crime should the prosecutor decide to charge in this case. But now you're into 1983 civil rights law here, where if there is a custom, practice, or policy, that's legal terms of deliberate indifference for the rights of citizens, which is a right not to be shot improperly. And if it shows that this constable program, with their lack of training, is arming people and that they knew or should have known that this injury could result, then he's going to have a payday.
Yeah. All right. I'm sure he'd much prefer not to have been shot 3 times,
yes,
but they are going to cut a check.
All right, Joey, Bob, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.